Greetings. I am Dr. Paulina Van, the author of Regala Healing, an evocative approach for self care, self understanding, and inner healing. I have the honor of hosting this show on blackdoctor.org, The Poetry of Healing, and I want to welcome you from all over the world. We'd love to know where you're joining us from, so please put your location in the chat if you'd like. You know, it's the middle of February, the month of love, the heart, and Black History celebrations. The first half of the month, we've had access to unlimited events in recognition of Black history, online conferences, including the rich programming on this blackdoctor.org platform. We've seen documentaries, podcasts, in person. We've had in-person celebrations and events at places of employment, sporting events, social organizations, religious organizations. And we still have about half the month left to embrace even more. Today's show is all about meditation, and it's a follow-up to part 2 of the program, Meditation, Myths, and Miracles, that I guided you through about a month ago. I suggested you practice starting with a minute a day and advancing about 4 to 5 minutes a day over the last month. So even if you're still at a minute a day, that's more than you were doing, and it's still helping you. So in keeping with this month's theme of honoring African culture, today we have I don't have words to describe, but just a wonderful guest. Her name is Uzoamaka Nwankpa. That's Uzoamaka Nwankpa. I love the melodious sound of her name, and we'll call her Uzo. She will definitely change your worldview about meditation and mindfulness because she will incorporate a few indigenous African traditions into our practice for healing and self-care. Before we meet Uzo, I invite you to embrace the goals for today. And by the end of our time together today, we hope that you will increase not increase ancient, but increase your awareness of ancient holistic healing practices that include physical, social, mental, and spiritual aspects of wellness, so a holistic approach. And practice remembering and restoring our African indigenous tradition of mindfulness meditation with movement and music. Later within this half hour, Uzo will guide you through several brief mindful meditations that will include movement. So if you can move a little or move a lot, it's not going to matter. It will include some movement. Giving you more to add to your toolkit of reflective practices. So each time we're together, try to give you something to add. Before we begin our time together, we always do a brief meditation, and I refer to it as centering. It helps us to focus, collect our energy for this time together so we can be fully present, a time for you, a gift for yourself. Centering and meditation are always an invitation. And so I'm going to invite you as we begin to take a moment and just settle into a position of ease. So you may be sitting, you may be laying down, you may be standing up. And our centering exercise is going to be the heart focused breathing. So last time we spent a lot of time on heart math, and this is one of the heart math practices, heart focused breathing. So for those of you who are not familiar with it or haven't been with me before, or maybe need a refresher, let me show you. So before we begin, I just want to help you to be able to do the heart focused breathing. And so placing your hand over your heart or on your chest area will help you to focus your breaths in that area. Okay? So let's do a practice breath. So you're going to breathe in through your nose, focusing on your heart and imagining that your heart is expanding as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out through your mouth, imagine your heart getting smaller or your chest contracting and let your breath out. So that's a heart focused breath. Again, you can do this with your eyes open, and you can do it and no one would know you're doing it. And it's a way of relaxing yourself, getting everything, your breath, mind, heart in alignment. Okay, so let's go. Focus your attention with your either your eyes lowered or closed, or open. Focus your attention in the area of your heart. Imagine your breath flowing in and out of your heart or chest area, breathing a little slower and deeper than usual. So you're going to breathe in through your nose and imagine your heart getting big, and breathe out through your mouth, imagining your heart getting small. Okay? And you want to try to time it. You want to breathe slow and deep. So you might try counting, breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathing out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So do it a couple of times on your own. So breathing in, and those of you might need to focus on your chest expanding. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, and one more. Focusing on that beautiful heart of yours. And now we're going to breathe into this session. So we're just going to take a normal deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath in to notice you are here, and out. Take a deep breath to notice how your body feels. In and out from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. And if you feel any tension, any pain, just take a breath into that area. You know how you took a breaths into your heart? Well, take a breath perhaps into your shoulder, maybe your lower back, and breathe out. And the last deep breath, I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in and then to enter this session. Thank you. So it gives me just tremendous great pleasure to introduce Uzoamaka Nwankpa. I want to tell you a little bit about her before she comes on. We have known each other professionally for several years on the same academic team, and over the years, we've met numerous times in groups, had regular one-on-ones, and even spent 2 to 3 days at overnight retreats. Yet, I didn't realize the deep, meaningful connections we have. We're both first generation to the United States, Uzo from Southeast Nigeria, and me from Panama. We come from a long generation of healers. We are both uh, dance performers. Well, let me clarify that. Uzo is still performing. I retired when I was 50, but I still love to dance socially. But anyway, we're both dancers with deep passion and understanding of its healing and health promoting effects. Lastly, we're both global visitors, impacting others with our knowledge and experiences beyond North America, such as Asia and Europe. And then Uzo has also impacted Australia and me, South America. And it is with a heart full of love and admiration that I ask Uzo to join us.
Hello.
Hi, Uzo. How are you?
Thank you so much for that warm introduction. I
Oh,
really
you're
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. And you look absolutely beautiful in the sunshine. And I know, yes. And I just thank you for joining us today. And I truly feel it's going to be a gift. And so I'm going to step away and I'm going to give you, um, invite you to the platform to just bless us with your gifts. And
Mm.
please introduce yourself to the audience and then take it away. And I'll see you in about 15 minutes. Okay. All right.
Hello, everybody. It's such an honor and pleasure to be invited here to be with you, to share what my ancestral knowledge and wisdom that has been gifted to me with you all here on this platform. It is an honor. My name is Uzoamaka Nkemdele Nwankpa. I'm an Igbo woman. I am the daughter of Emmanuel Ebelechukwu and Justina Uzoamaka. And I'm the granddaughter of Mwarashiono Madabuchi Muovwako. And um, thinking of my grandpa's name, his English name is Pius. And all of my ancestors that have come before them, I honor them and I respect them. And so thank you. It is something that a conversation that I have a lot with my students, with my colleagues. We often ask the question, do Africans meditate? Did our ancestors meditate? And even if you don't know the answer to that question, I like to go back to some of our ancient practices of movement, of rhythm, our ancient practices of mindful farming and mindful connection to nature. And if we even look at some of the ancient history, Kemetic and Egyptian history, you will find Arianka, which is an ancient way of connecting with source and your chi. Some might call it your energy centers, some might call it your chakras. Um, and so when you find images on the walls, the hieroglyphics, you would find some of those poses, right, on the walls that prove that this this these beings, these ancient beings, our bodies have this knowledge. It's embedded in there. And so it is with pleasure to help folks remember some of these practices that are on the inside. So, the first thing that I often like to have folks do um, is reflection, right? In this whole process of understanding ourselves and connecting with ourselves, asking the question, how am I feeling in this moment, is a good place to start. I often ask folks to think about your physical well-being, like your temperature, or some comforts or discomforts. What's going on in my physical body? What's going on in my emotional body? How am I feeling emotionally? Often it's a mixture, right? Uh, and then and then we go into how am I feeling spiritually, right? And how am I feeling socially with the COVID-19 pandemic? We know the effects that this has had on us and on social cohesion. So we're all feeling it. So asking the question, how am I feeling in this moment, is the first step. Once we have the answer for ourselves, then we move into the next step of integrating our mind, our body, and our spirit. And so often that's usually starts with the breath. And so I would like to walk you through a process of breathing in a way that allows us to get in touch with our body emotionally, physically, spiritually, and socially. So with this breath, I will walk you through an easy process. It's called the box breathing method. I didn't make this up. You can look it up. There are multiple benefits for this. And the box breathing method allows us to think about breathing in a box. And so, with the inhale, if you can imagine the left side of the box, you're breathing in for 4 seconds. And so that is 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to hold there for 4 seconds. And then we're going to exhale at the top of the box for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And hold there for 4 seconds. And then you're going to do the same thing going down the box with your inhale. 2, 3, 4. You're going to hold. 2, 3, 4. And then you release. 2, 3, 4. And then you hold. 2, 3. Do it again. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I moved a bit fast with that, but you get the idea in that that can be slowed way down. And I'd like to invite you to think about what that felt like inside the body. That was a moment of integration. By breathing in the oxygen into our physical body, right, we have a reaction inside, and then that affects how we behave, how we be, how our cells react, right? So think about how that felt. Now, moving on to the movement meditation. Many of us are so used to walking, dancing, stomping, right? Chanting, using our voice. All of these things were embedded in our everyday practices. Currently here, wherever you are in this current time, if you're walking, if you're talking, you've got rhythm, right? Rhythm is something that I always like to go back to. Okay. When in doubt, I like to go back to rhythm. Why? Because it's the first thing. The vibrations and the sounds, right? It's like one of the first sensations that babies feel in the womb, the vibrations. And so imagine if we were to bring vibrations into our mindful practice, right? For some, we can use our voice by making sounds with our breath, right? Sometimes we do it without even knowing, like when we're like, hey, 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 right? Sometimes by doing that, we're creating vibration in our body. By clapping and stomping, we're creating vibrations in our body. And that, done mindfully, can be meditated, especially when it is repetitive, intentional, and we set the time to do that. We're not going to be stomping today. We're actually going to be moving our bodies. And so what I would like to do is use sort of like a rhythmic count, right? A rhythmic count with our movement today. And I would like to start with just the parts of my body that you can see right now. And so with this rhythmic movement, I'd like to start with the chest because our heart is located here and also our lungs are located here. And this is the area of my body. I don't know about you, but when I feel some tenseness, some tightness, some heartbrokenness, this is the part of my body that feels it the most. So this is the part where I'm going to put in the energy of movement. All right. So I'm going to snap my fingers like this, and that is the rhythm. Here we go. We're going to open up a chest. We're going to close the chest. Yes. We're going to open up. And then we close. 2, 3. 2 more times. We're going to open up. And then we close. One more time. Here we go. We're going to open up the chest. Yes. And then we close. Guess what? Double time. Here we go. We're gonna open up, and then we close. And then we open up, and then we close. And then we open, close. Breath every time. I'm going to triple it up. It goes open, close, and open and close, and open and close. Imagine the rhythm going behind. Kitikata, kitaka, kitikata, kitaka, kitikata, kitaka. You might even make it big and slow, right? Big and slow. What you notice is I am breathing every time I make these movements. Last time, here we go. Okay, how did that feel? Just opening up your chest, opening up your arms. I'm outside, so the sun is filtering right through me. And as I close, right, what happens to my back? What happens to my shoulders, right? Being mindful with each of these moments and noticing what is happening as it is shifting. Noticing if my heartbeat is moving faster or slower. Being with the movement, however big or small. We'll do one more. I like to use the hips, right? The belly, our hips. As African descendants, well, as humans, most of our organs are located here, right? And so it's really important for us to use our body, use the lower body, right? As you can see, I'm just swaying from side to side. This is a very calming motion, right? When mothers have babies, this is the motion, right? So just by swaying from side to side, right? Moving that hip from side to side, we're actually unblocking energies just by moving from side to side. And this is quite fast, right? As you can see, I'm moving my palms now. That's just what wanted to come, right? And I'm perhaps even intentionally clearing the way energetically that's in front of me, yes? So, right now, right? If you're joining me, what does this feel like to move the hip? This is a slow down movement from something that many of you might even recognize. Some of those movements, right? Hey, hey, hey. But you don't have to do all that, right? Just the sway. And you can build on that. Why are we swaying? Because we're moving the energy. Why are we moving the energy? Because stuck energy sometimes causes reactions in our bodies, and then it affects our emotional state and it affects our physical state. So just by moving our bodies and shaking, swaying, opening and closing, we can get those energies moving. Our ancestors knew this and they passed it on to us, right? If we pay attention to our babies, the youngest ones, that's what they do. They move their bodies. Why are they moving their bodies? Because they innately know that this is what helps shift that energy. This is what helps with the equilibrium. Our furry friends know that, right? The dogs and the cats, something happens to them, they bump into something. What's the first thing they do? They shake their body, they shake it off, and they're off, right? So part of this is remembering that we've got these tools in our bodies and that we can shake it off, right? Using sound, using motion, using movement to recalibrate. Now, with this last movement, I'm just going to offer some wrist shakes, okay? But I'm going to go really slowly. And I would like to ask you to follow me through this process and just kind of shake your hands. And after we do that, we're going to take a moment to notice how we feel. So I'm going to shake it five times on my right side and 5 times on my left side, and then we will end there, okay? So here it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shake it off and place your hands on your chest and on your belly and take some deep breaths. And here is the question to ask yourself again. How am I feeling in this moment? Physically, emotionally, spiritually, even socially. What's going on? That was my alarm, sorry. um, how does it feel in my body? I can answer the question for myself. Initially, when I came on, I felt anxious. I felt the bubbly tension, tingling in my fingers, heart beating really fast. I was a bit sweaty under my armpits. And then I moved the energy. First, I breathed, then I moved, and then I checked in again. And now I feel calmer, still a little anxious. I feel settled. The bubbling has simmered just a bit. How are you feeling? I appreciate you walking through this process. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this process of reflection, integration, moving the body, evaluating the process, and then reflecting again how we're feeling. These are the steps that I use to support folks that work with me, to create a healing space in communities and within oneself. This can be done within your body, and it can also be done with a group of people and when working with them. So I appreciate the time that you took, and I'm wondering if Dr. Van is here, and
Yes,
you were moving in the background.
yes, I am here. And I'll tell you, Uzo, I'm not as rhythmic as I used to be in the young age, but this was absolutely beautiful, wonderful. I could have used twice as much time. You are gifted, and we just thank you for bringing these traditions, bringing them back, helping us to remember. And I wish we had more time to talk about all the things you're doing. So that means I need to bring you back.
I would
Um,
love to come back so we
bring
could
you
chat.
back. And the other thing we share is a passion for women who've had babies. And your focus is on using these traditions to treat postpartum depression. And I'm going to invite you back because my area is helping women cope after pregnancy loss. And I think we can extrapolate the work that you have done to help these women. I don't want you to leave without us knowing about your phenomenal website that you told me you created. It's theuzo.com. I
Yes.
encourage our viewers, listeners to check that out. It is an amazing living site. And Uzo, I just send you so many blessings, and the work you're doing is just phenomenal. And we'll see you again. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so,
you so
so
much. It's
much.
such an honor and pleasure to be here. And thank you so much for the work that you do. You're phenomenal.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. And whew, I just got to take a deep breath after that. I hope you feel um, either relaxed, energized, definitely unstuck. During the session, our honored and gifted guest, Uzo, has increased our awareness of selected holistic. Um, I'm so relaxed, I can't even speak. um, increase our awareness of selected holistic healing practices and guided us to remember and restore ancient modalities for self-care and healing. Now you have examples of both stationary and movement meditations to continue to develop your practice. Please join me every first and third Sundays right here at 9 a.m. Pacific time, um, right here on blackdoctor.org. And please share this video if it's been helpful for you or you believe it will be helpful for someone else. You can leave your comments. I definitely do read and respond to them. And I ask you to visit my site, regalahealing.com, to learn more about healing, my healing and self-care work and resources. Thank you for joining us today. And as always, love and light to you until next time.